I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine, like, if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it, and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them: epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation, because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's Beta time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
Truth to Power, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at Summerfest. Yes, we are live from Summerfest, the world's largest music festival. So excited to be back here at Summerfest along the beautiful lakefront. If you want to chime into today's conversation on Truth to Power, you can always text in or call in at 833-212-1017. Make sure you watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Shout out to Rhea Riley holding it down on the ones and the twos.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, indeed. Shout out to Pastor Jay stepping up yesterday and filling in for me while I was gone. So happy to be back. Also, quick shout out to the Milwaukee Times as well. Y'all know I had a funeral yesterday, and shout out to Milwaukee Times, did a phenomenal job with the obituary. That was dope. I was like, who made this, mama? And it was the Milwaukee Times. So shout out to them for being able to get a quick turnaround and making it look spectacular. So shout out to Milwaukee Times for being able to do that. I didn't know they did that. But Truth Nation, so happy to be back today. So much news and information for us to go through today. I'm telling y'all this right now. I was gone for a day, and I come back, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So what we're going to do is, y'all, we're going to hit y'all with off the top about the breaking news that has happened in the city of Milwaukee. So here we are with off the top right here on Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth.
Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Off the Top on Truth to Power. Kyle, let Truth Nation know what you got to get off your chest today.
Remember, Truth Nation, you can always watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. We're almost at 4,000 subscribers. We're going to get there very soon with your help, Truth Nation. But I wanted to start off today where there may be a hammer from hell coming down on the city of Milwaukee after the tragic events which occurred last night in a city that we so dearly love. Now, you have heard about the awful event which took place late last night where 2 MPD officers were shot in the city of Milwaukee around 25th and Garfield, 24th and Place, North Place here in Milwaukee. And it's a sad day. It's a sad events that happen here in our community where a 32-year-old Milwaukee police officer is in critical condition. And then you have a 29-year-old Milwaukee police officer who has non-fatal injuries after a suspect opened fire on them and harmed them. And with that, there was some reporting that has been out there where the 29-year-old officer may have to have part of his foot amputated. This is a shame that this is happening in our communities where people are just trying to serve and protect our communities and are being shot at the way that they are. Now, it looks like maybe, it's a big 24 hours for the 32-year-old police officer who's been on the job for 6 years. Same thing with the 29-year-old officer, but the officer who's in critical condition is a big 24 hours for him to see what's going to come next with his health. Reports are saying that they were in the alley when they were responding to shots fired, and they were shot at when they got there. So that's according to the news reports. And I want y'all to hear a story from WISN 12 to kind of give you a background and a breakdown on everything that occurred. So make sure you go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you can watch us live, or make sure you can listen as well as we play the audio from the breaking news story and an update from what occurred yesterday as 2 Milwaukee Police Department officers were shot arriving to a scene where there were shots fired. Go ahead and hit that, Rhea.
Enough is enough. Stop trying to kill my police officers. The violence against our police officers is out of hand. It's 4 officers in 5 months. It's ridiculous. And for that coward that ambushed my police officers, if you don't turn yourself in, we're gonna hunt you down. We're coming to get you, and justice is coming for you.
Strong words there from Milwaukee Police Association President Alex Ayala just hours ago after someone shot 2 Milwaukee police officers overnight in what he's calling an ambush. That's where our breaking news coverage begins this morning. Take a look at these new images showing the chaotic moments that officers responded to the areas last night. You can see officers there with long guns as well, a K9 officer as well rushing to the scene. This all started around 9:30 last night near 25th and Garfield. That's in Milwaukee's Midtown neighborhood. Investigators say officers responded for reports of a subject with a weapon. When officers arrived, they say someone started shooting. A 32-year-old officer is at Frederick Hospital in critical condition right now. A 29-year-old officer is at Frederick. He's expected to survive. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson and Assistant Police Chief Nicole Waldner briefing reporters at the scene early this morning.
The problem is too many people have guns. So I could put an officer on every single corner. That will not eliminate the amount of guns in the hands of people that shouldn't have them, right? All over the city. And unfortunately, it won't also help the fact that there is complete, utter disregard for anybody else other than themselves. Like there's not even a second thought to fire on officers as they approach the alley.
What are we doing to make sure that our officers are safe? Is everybody here doing all that we can to make sure that our officers are safe? Not just folks in government, folks in the community.
Again, that was a WISN 12 report. And y'all, listen, 4 officers being shot in 5 months is completely unacceptable. This action, this behavior is completely unacceptable. We as a community, we as people, right? We cannot shoot at the police and not think there won't be any repercussions to that, or don't think now the police force is going to be on edge. You saw the president of the Milwaukee Police Association, Mr. Ayala, with his frustration with the fact that 4 of officers have been shot in 5 months. That is not normal. That is messed up. And all that this is going to do is create more tension and make things worse for us citizens here in Milwaukee. We have to be better. But one thing I will say is, as I've been scrolling up and down on social media, is the reaction that the community has had to this has been a reaction of sadness, but also an overwhelming support to stopping this nonsense. People are asking for prayer for our city. People are asking for people to watch over our city. And we have to understand that these officers took on a duty to protect us. Now, I understand that there's issues with MPD and officers across this country with abuse of power, but we can't make them targets. We have to understand that these are human beings. Law enforcement are human beings. And I believe they have a greater standard that they must live up to, but shooting at them when they are running to help victims is awful, it's cowardly, as they said, and it's something that we cannot stand for as a community. I'm thinking about the families that were impacted yesterday. I'm thinking about the families of the 32-year-old officer who's in critical condition. I'm thinking about the family of the 29-year-old officer who may end up having part of his foot amputated. I'm thinking about law enforcement now that is seeing another fallen, or I shouldn't say fallen, another ambushed or attacked brother or sister in law enforcement who are just doing their jobs. This is not normal. Hell, Batman I don't think can save the damn day in Milwaukee right now. But I really do appreciate the city standing behind MPD. I'm proud of what I'm seeing on social media. I'm proud that the city is saying no mas, no more, in condemning this senseless act and condemning this nonsense. Maybe this is the true moment where we now finally take accountability and we start holding people accountable. I heard Sherwin talking about the, I believe it's the crime bill in the 90s that President Clinton at the time had passed, and something that the community advocated for. I'm an advocate for, if you do something stupid like this, you got to go to jail. I'm an advocate for taking guns off the streets, because when you hear the police department talking about even if they had an officer on every corner, there would not be enough officers to curb some of the gun violence that happens in our communities because there's way too many guns in our communities. I don't understand why we need guns. I really don't understand why a human being needs a gun. Crime is significantly down in other places in other countries that have guns, but we have a mental health problem here in this country. We have a gun problem in this country. We have a violence problem in this country. We are barbaric when it comes to weapons in this country. Law enforcement is being shot at in this city at a rate that is unfathomable. We got to start getting these guns out of people's hands. And I hate to say it because I know people that got robbed with their guns, but if you got your gun in your car and it's not in a secure place where somebody can rob you and take your gun, you need to pay a price as well. But if you find somebody with a gun, they need to go to jail. We got to clean up the city because this ain't right. Again, I repeat, 4 officers in this city in 2025 in 5 months have been shot. We need to chastise these individuals that are doing this. We need to have a public crucifixion of these people because this is not normal behavior. We need these young kids and we need these young adults to understand who are coming up that this type of behavior won't be tolerated. And if you do something like this, you're not only going to get it for your mom, your dad, your cousin, your auntie, your friends, but the whole community is going to say you are a damn fool for doing this. We can't let this slide, y'all. We cannot let this slide. This kind of action cannot be tolerated. 833-212-1017. I'm taking your reaction to what we should do. How can we stop this? How can we slow down this violence? How can we prevent this from happening again? How can we get these guns off the street? How can we understand that we must respect law enforcement? We can take issue with law enforcement. We can have problems with the attitude that some of them have. We can hold them to a higher standard, but we cannot shoot at law enforcement. We cannot shoot at law enforcement. And the thing that I ponder and I think about that I think y'all should want to ponder, and again, 833-212-1017. I want to hear your thoughts on this because when I was getting ready for the show last night, I was writing up my stuff, getting my stuff ready. Breaking news came about this. And I'm just disappointed that this continues to happen. And I understand this is not a reflection of the city of Milwaukee. This is a reflection of most of us hard-working citizens that are contributing to society. It's only a small minority, but this is a weird trend that we have to take note of an uptick in violence against law enforcement. This will not end well for anybody, because if law enforcement is on edge every time they approach a situation, somebody at a domestic violence situation or somebody at any situation in Milwaukee who may be innocent or a bystander may pay the price. And trust me, the person that pays the price may end up looking like a lot of us who are listening and a lot of us who make up the major population or majority of the population in Milwaukee. But again, the thing that I ponder with such concern for the community and that you should be concerned about is that if you got these fools who are willing to open fire on law enforcement that has guns to shoot back, what in the hell makes you think you are safe from the senseless gun violence that we see in this city? At this point, we can't blame people for thinking Milwaukee isn't safe. I understand crime is mostly targeted. It's targeted. If you walk into a community, more than likely you'll be fine unless you're an individual that's getting targeted. And that can be explained. I can tell people, yeah, in Milwaukee, most crime is targeted. You'll be safe. You'll be fine. But then when nonsense like this happens, when 4 officers are being shot at in 5 months, that can't be explained. I can't tell people to feel safe if law enforcement can't feel safe. I can't say my city is a safe place when police officers are getting shot, just doing their jobs. Again, 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk and Text line. You can call in, you can text in and share your thoughts. I see y'all on YouTube, 1017 The Truth on YouTube. You can also share your thoughts there. You can watch and stream us live. On the other side, I see we got your calls. I'll take your calls. I'll take your texts as we are getting instant reaction to the terrible news that happened that 2 Milwaukee police officers were shot after responding to shot fire around 25th and Garfield last night. 1 officer is in critical condition. Another officer is in stable condition. Non-life-threatening injuries, but may have his foot amputated, according to reports. 833-212-1017. We'll take your calls. We'll take your texts after this. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Walls, live from Summerfest right here on 1017 The Truth.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, in case you missed the amazing premiere of the 8 Block, you've got another chance to tap in. Coming straight from the heart of Milwaukee, the 8 Block is a bold, youth-led radio show powered by City on the Hill and 1017 The Truth, hosted by me, your boy, Big Jim, 8 Milwaukee teens with real stories and real lives. So don't miss the replay this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1017 The Truth and hear what the future leaders of the world have to say. Truth Nation, welcome to the 8 Block.
Truth Nation, you already know I gotta put you on the latest hookups at Nick Avani's. Summer is here, and Nick Avani's is bringing all the heat all month long with 50% off select items during June. Whether you're leveling up your wardrobe or just want to turn heads wherever you go, they've got you covered with top-tier fashion. Suits, shirts, ties, shoes, and more. It's all about that fresh look and confident vibe, and Nick Avani's is making sure you step out feeling like $1,000,000. Pull up to Nick Avani's on the 2nd floor of Mayfair Mall or visit them online at nickavanis.com.
I've got to share that I am also a beneficiary of the Old National Bank Empowerment Loan Program. So, Tracy, with that being said, what is the Empowerment Loan Program?
Great. Well, the Empowerment Loan Program is a special purpose loan program that we launched 2 years ago. It has been a success. It was something, again, near and dear to the heart of not only our chairman and CEO, but just our organization as a whole. We work with contractors, consulting firms, retail food operations, daycares. In fact, so far, we've approved $50 million of loans to minority and women-owned businesses within a 2-year period.
And for those that are now leaning more into this conversation, what's the best way to get in contact with you as part of their interest in the Empowerment Loan Program?
I'm going to give you my cell phone number to the listeners. It's 414-687-7393. And if that doesn't work, feel free to reach me at my email, tracy.meeks@oldnational.com.
Tracy Meeks, Senior Vice President, Community Lending Market Executive from Old National Bank.
State Fair is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace, live from Summerfest, the world's largest music festival, on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Glorilla. Hey, it's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 95 degrees. I ain't got no, and no ain't got me. Let's go. I'm about to show my
nation. Violence is a problem that affects all of us, but together we can make a difference. This is why we are hosting our 3rd annual Truth Walk Against Violence, led by Tori Lowe, on Saturday, July 12th, from Victory Over Violence Park, right down MLK Drive, to our studio at the 3rd Street Market Hall. Over the next month, Tori will be speaking with politicians and community leaders about how we can better provide resources to stop the rise in violence. If you want to join the fight to stop violence, go to truthwalkagainstviolence.com right now to sign up for the Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE, on Saturday, July 12th, from 9 a.m. to noon. 833-212-1017, that is the Truth Talk and text line. And we're having a conversation talking about the unfortunate events that occurred last night as 2 Milwaukee Police Department officers were shot while responding to shots fired. Updated information: there was a suspect who was arrested around 2:32 a.m. His name is Tremaine Jones. Milwaukee police arrest a suspect named Tremaine Jones in connection with shooting that injured 2 officers. That is according to the Journal Sentinel that broke that news about an hour ago. So there is a suspect in custody. Milwaukee, so there is a suspect in custody. It is a 22-year-old Tremaine Jones who is arrested in result of, or having something to do with, the shootings that happened yesterday. But 833-212-1017, that's the Truth Talking text line. Al from Sherman Park, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on today's conversation? Going once, going twice, Al. All right, well, no Al from Sherman Park. Al, give a phone call back. Again, 833-212-1017. And then on top of that, you can watch and stream us live on YouTube as well. But when I see things like this, again, I'm disappointed, I'm disheartened. And it always makes me think, why in the world would anybody want to be a Milwaukee Police Department, work for the Milwaukee Police Department? I don't understand it. I know an officer who works for the Whitefish Bay Police Department. He a brother. And I said to him, I said, I ain't mad at you. I don't understand why anybody would want to put themselves through this type of stress. There's not enough amount of money, not a number in this world that would ever make me want to potentially put my life on the line in this city. I would rather try to bust up drinking parties in the suburbs than find myself running towards gunfire or going through the community of Milwaukee. And when we talk about how great our city is and how much we love our city, when things like this happens, it questions why anybody would want to live in our city. Why would somebody want to live in a city where MPD is getting shot at? Why would anybody want to live in a city where you think about the lack of jobs that we have in the community? And some of them I'm going to talk about when we come back on the other side. I'm going to talk about some of the stupid decisions people in this city make. But I just don't understand what makes Milwaukee at this point appealing. If I'm thinking about starting a family, which I want to start a family, if I'm thinking about choosing a place to live, and I read reports that officers are being shot at, things are happening in the city, robberies happening in the city, crimes happening in the city, what makes Milwaukee appealing? And the crazy thing about this situation, when you think about where officers are placed, the officers that got shot in this situation were helping to cover on the north side. They're from Bayview, but because of the lack of officers we have on the north side, these officers were Bayview officers. And they came to this side to help support the community, and they being shot at. So again, this is a troubling situation that happened in our community, and it's happening over and over and over again, and you can't blame the mayor. You can't blame the common council. The only thing we can blame, it has to do with the parenting happening in this community. Because there is no excuse for this type of action. But again, 833-212-1017. I'm getting your reaction to the fact that 2 police officers in the city of Milwaukee were shot yesterday while responding to shots fired. Winky Blue, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Good afternoon to you. Your call screener kind of handled me pretty rough today, Cal. But it's okay.
Well,
listen,
that's all right.
Yeah, she handled me rough. She said, "No long talking today, Winky. You won't be out of here."
Hey, I'm with Winky. You did some long talking earlier this week, so yeah, you know what it is.
No. Listen, check this out. Now,
yes,
you just said something about that those guys were called to do some cover over here. That's not. I just want to tell you, that's not a factual call on that deal. I've been beating the drum, and somebody else has been beating the drum because we really want to know. 2nd District, that's across the viaduct, like you said. That's 2nd and Lincoln. I'm familiar with the place. I went there. They have to buy overnight parking ticket. Overnight pass for your parking. Overnight parking. Listen, man.
It's all online now.
Those guys. I know those guys were on the north side, and we, I don't want the covering. We don't need that much cover. We got 3rd District. You got downtown down there, brother. You got 3rd District. They'll pull out the Marines, the cavalry of 7th District to come over there and help them pull that stunt off if anything going on like that. So the thing is, the question is being asked, and they're going to do a cleanup on aisle whatever about them being over there. But across that bridge to over there, that's questionable. I hate this happening, man. We got to stop it. We need to check the mask and these black tinted windows, man, and every gun hanging out these people's pocket, man. It's bad, man. It's bad.
I'm right there with you, Winky. Like, again, we have to come down with the hammer of hell when it comes to this gun violence. I understand, and I see in the chat, somebody said, Mata Elephant said, we can take the guns off the street, but the Constitution has to be revised. I agree. We just have to have stricter gun laws. Like, I don't give a damn. I really don't. I went to a, what is it called? I went to like a garage sale in the community a couple weeks back, and I was behooved. I could not believe my eyes. Or really, it was my ears at first. And I heard a gentleman say, "Hey, how much for that gun?" And I'm looking around like, what in the hell he talking gun? And he said, "Oh, well, the gun was my nephew's gun or something like this, and he left it here, so, I could probably let it go for a price." I don't know what he said. He might have said $50 something. And when I looked at the gun was it had a long, I don't know much about it, but it was a long gun. It was a big, long black case. And I said to myself, I said to my girl, I said, how is it possible for someone to sell a gun at a dang garage sale? So I looked up the laws, and I saw that you can actually legally transfer a gun at a garage sale. America has a problem and an obsession with guns, and America has a violence problem. Something has to change. Something has to be done. We need to have more strict gun laws. We need to have one strike. Your behind needs to pay some type of price, because we got to find a way to get these guns out of people's hands, and we got to make sure people are more responsible with their guns, because so often people are irresponsible with their guns. They're putting them in their cars. Their cars are getting stolen. Their cars are getting broken into. Now, good citizens now don't have guns, and now the guns are in the bad people's hands, and now you have these guns that are registered to the wrong people in the wrong people's hands now, and they're causing this harm. 833-212-1017. I'm tired of it. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on the terrible situation that happened in Milwaukee?
Well, my heart goes out to the families of the police officers, because you do have good cops, but it never affects the bad cops. The bottom line is this: they're not going to do nothing about the guns, because the guns keep the numbers up for the racist white people. It's self-destruct. But I can guarantee you, if these intelligent black people will learn their gun and start being intelligent and learning value in one another and start pointing them guns other directions, I guarantee you them gun laws will change very, very quickly. It's like giving candy to a baby. But on the other hand, some of these black people got to stop being so damn naive and stop looking at their own people as the enemy. Because, see, they'll shoot that gun at somebody who look like you and me.
They sure
but let
will.
it come to that white. Let it come to that white man. They'll play the bigger person and say hello. And
The
them
hell,
white
they
people
shot the
sitting
white
back
man
with them-
yesterday. Both them two gentlemen, I believe, are white cops.
I understand it, but I'm talking about in our community, dealing with blacks. They already going to look at you as an enemy. Now, the generation today, they don't care about none of that. And that's why they're not going to do the gun laws. But if it starts being more police, they'll change the gun law because you can't have black people with too much power. And not no pew-pews. You don't think so?
I appreciate. Well, what I believe is this: if officers continue to get shot, and thank you, Al, so much for the call. But if officers continue to be ambushed and shot at in the city of Milwaukee, they're not going to take guns from people. They're just going to send in the damn National Guard. They're going to continue to over-police our communities, and we can't do a damn thing about it because when officers are getting shot at, then you know dang well they'll shoot at us. Just like you said. So they're not going to take guns away from people. What would happen is, and this is what I don't want to happen, until, Susie or Cindy or, white woman gets shot at and white kids in the suburbs get shot at, and you see the issue, just like you saw the drug epidemic that happened where when it happened in our communities, they did not care. They just arrested people and locked people up. But when it happened in their communities, it became, a pandemic of sorts where they had to be thoughtful and say, hey, if you're doing drugs, we'd rather you bring somebody in, which is the right thing to do, to make sure they survive versus leaving them there as they're overdosing and getting them help. It's a difference. And so what we have to understand is that if we shoot each other, we shoot police officers, all it's going to do is cause them for more police in our community. It ain't going to cause for them to get rid of guns. 833-212-1017. Al from Sherman Park, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on today's conversation?
Hey, Kyle. I kind of thought that our past movements with the defund the police and making every officer an enemy of the people was going to lead to this point where we have no respect for our police officers or ICE or any law enforcement. We do need our officers. I call them quite frequently. Coming up this next holiday, along with the fireworks, there are going to be people shooting off their guns because they just have. First of all, if they don't respect, like you said, the authority, they're definitely not going to respect you, your neighbors. Put your lights on at night, turn the recording equipment on, get the cameras for the windows. Let that be the snitching tool. I mean, every time I would hear gunshots, I call the police. I even have ShotSpotter over my garage out here, but I still call the police because I want them to come out and check to make sure nobody's lying there hurt. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because we make more excuses over. There are a few incidents where people, where the police are actually shooting people. We made it sound like there's 1,000 people a day getting shot, and that is not the case. And we've made the police the enemy. And we've taught the children that if they misbehave enough, they can get away with it, right? And it affects our neighborhood stores. Stores move out. All the Walgreens move out. All the little stores that we need, and pretty sure, and soon we have nothing. We're just a desert where nobody wants to live. The housing values fall, and then it becomes ripe for bulldozing, and then what do you call regentrification?
It's
and
already.
then we complain about
it's already happening. I mean, that regentrification is already happening in our community. But Al, I appreciate you. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Where we got to do something about this, because I mean, what is appealing about a city where police officers are getting shot? 833-212-1017. We'll take one last call here before we go to break. Smiley from Milwaukee, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts about this police shooting and guns in America?
Well, let me say this. I was there. I was in the midst of all of that. And as a mother, a grandmother, just overall, I would never in my life I don't care what color you are, what you rep. Those officers deserve to go home to their families. To have that situation to happen is just it's pathetic. As a mother, I want my child home. As a wife, I want my husband home. As a child, I want my father home. There's no excuse whatsoever to not know where it directly come from and came from, where I was at, and a mother who was walking her child across the street, not knowing, my God. There's something do have to happen. I'm not saying that what they did, whoever did, it's never okay to pull a gun or use a gun. You're a coward. If the officer using their authority overdoing it, that's shame on them. But it's still never okay to use your weapons to take somebody's life. You're a coward. I lost a son to gun violence. I lost my granddaughter.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Nonsense. So to hear my kids or my grandkids say, I want to become an officer, I want my grandkids to come home. This is just beyond. It's just way beyond. Just okay. This is enough with the police. That's not right. Because bullets don't have no name. Mental illness is going to always be real. When you take the things away from the people who need it the most. These kids, these people out here are dealing with mental illness, and no one knows who they are. As the mayors, as the police, the aldermen, some got to give. It comes to not just the city of Milwaukee, Chicago, and Detroit, everywhere. Everyone has to come together to reformulate this situation, to get a grip on it. Black people, get your kids, get your family. If there's an issue, listen, in here at home, I couldn't go to bed without praying. I woke up with a headache, praying. I cried because and I had situations with my son involving the police, and they was in the wrong. They was in the wrong. I know how to cover my children, but every mother. And if you don't mind, please let me just pray. Heavenly Father, I ask you today to come upon this world, this nation, to cover every last one of our officers.
Hey, Smiley, I appreciate you wanting to pray, but we gotta be, amen. We gotta go to break. 833-212-1017. We were having a conversation talking about the tragic shooting of Milwaukee police officers, but we're also live from Summerfest, and I just want to remind everybody to come on down to Summerfest. We've been giving away tickets to Summerfest this week, but we'll also be continuing to give away wristbands to Summerfest next week as well, as we'll be giving away wristbands for people to come down and enjoy Summerfest. Make sure you go to summerfest.com/tickets for you to get tickets to Summerfest, and shout out to our food sponsor here, Major Goolsby. But we'll continue this conversation in 833-212-1017. We'll have more conversation on the other side.
Don't touch that dial. Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace will be right back live from Summerfest, the world's largest music festival, on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
At Hope Christian Schools, they're transforming lives through the power of Christ-centered education. Their nurturing environment combines academic excellence with strong Christian values. They offer free transportation and free tuition options to help set children up for success. Through faith, dedication, and unconditional love, they empower their scholars to discover their God-given potential and pursue their greater purpose. Don't wait. Start your child's journey at hopeschools.org.
Immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm. Forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the uncommon coast. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was a song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about? What am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Milwaukee Brewers will begin a 3-game series against the Colorado Rockies over at American Family Field. The Milwaukee Brewers at 45-36 on the season. Jose Quintana on the mound. First pitch is set for 7:10. Over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks made their selection in the NBA draft last night, number 47th overall.
The Milwaukee Bucks select Bogoljub Markovic.
Markovic last played in Serbia, where he averaged just over 13 points per game.
Certainly from a physical side and mental side, it has prepared me, I think, the most out of anyone here, in my opinion. But I'm just super glad to be here, blessed, ready to get to work.
This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Truth Nation, you already know what it is. One call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. If you or a loved one is ever injured in an accident, call Gruber Law Offices today. Don't mess around with the insurance companies. Don't mess around with any other law firm. Get with the law firm that wins cases. Y'all know what they do, man. They've been winning cases for 35 plus years here in the city. You see the billboards, you see them at sporting events, but you also see the results that speak for themselves. And what I love about Gruber Law Offices is you never pay a single penny. Not a penny is paid until they win your case. When I say one call, what do y'all say?
That's all.
That's all. Look, they just said it. Y'all can't hear it, but I said one call. That's all with Gruber Law Offices. So everybody knows the slogan, but everybody knows Gruber Law Offices today. So go ahead and get with them and by visiting them at gruber-law.com. That's gruber-law.com, or call them at 414-276-6666. That's 414-276-6666. This is Truth to Power live from Summerfest, the largest music festival in the world. So excited to be live from Summerfest. The Tori Lowe Show will be coming up next, live from Summerfest as well. But today on Truth to Power, you can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, giving a like, and also giving a subscribe. And we're having a conversation talking about the terrible incident that happened yesterday in the city of Milwaukee, where a 32-year-old Milwaukee police officer is in critical condition, and a 29-year-old officer has non-fatal injuries after a suspect opened fire on them as they responded to shots fired. call yesterday, and that is according to the police. There is an individual who is in custody. His name is Tremaine Jones. He is 22 years old in connection with the shootings that injured the 2 officers yesterday. We as a community have to be better. We as a city have to be better. And I want to go to YouTube, 1017 The Truth on YouTube, to read some of your comments. And DVJ said, I will say for the people that want everybody and everything to be locked up, where you're putting everybody, there's a space issue. That's something I agree as well. And he also said, we all have our thoughts and opinions about police and crime, but one thing that is certain is community and police relationship is strained, which I 100% agree with. There is a relationship that is strained with the police department and our community that needs to be built up. But shooting at police officers responding to shots fired, that is unacceptable. There's one thing when police are abusing power. Nobody should ever be shot at. But it's another thing when the police are responding to try to protect the community. This is unacceptable behavior, and we need to come down hard when people do stuff like this. You can also text in at 833-212-1017, where Randy Jr. said Milwaukee is economically depressed. I agree, and I feel like the economics of this city lead to some of the ridiculousness that we see in the city. And I'll talk about it next week. I had my show, as y'all can see on YouTube. I had my notes, and I had my show planned out where I was going to talk about a housing project in Milwaukee that was shot down by the county supervisor board, and we're just going to push that to Monday. We're going to have a conversation about that because I think it's important for us to understand that when you talk about a city that is economically depressed, it's depressed with the industry that we have, the lack thereof, in the central city of Milwaukee, right? There's been a focus of downtown, but not a focus on central city of Milwaukee, north side of Milwaukee. We have a lack of housing in the city of Milwaukee. So we have a lot of issues in the city of Milwaukee that need to be addressed. Also, Jeff on the talking text line said, do you blame the cars for reckless driving? Maybe we need to have less cars. That's when it comes to the gun issue. I think that's an idiotic thing to talk about because cars, can they be used to kill people? Yes, but guns were designed not to protect. Guns were designed to kill, Jeff. That is the purpose of a gun. A gun was designed to harm somebody. A car was designed for transportation to get somebody from point A to point B. It was not designed to run into somebody to murder people. Can it be used as that? Yes. But a gun was designed to kill. So I hate when people say, oh, what about cars? No. We can't control these idiots, but we can control what weapon these idiots have. I take my chances, and I'm sure the officers last night would take their chances at getting stabbed versus getting shot. And then lastly, Marquise G said, I think if you have a gun illegally, it's an automatic 25 years. I don't care. I ain't mad at that. I am not mad at that. But again, 833-212-1017, that is the Truth Talk and text line. And Miss Sandra, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I got about 2 minutes here for you. Hey, Miss Sandra, how you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. But what are your thoughts today on the conversation talking about police shooting and gun violence?
Okay, number one, like I said, that's what guns are for, to shoot, but not like this incident here. But, we already targeted anyhow. They're going to put the military down here because Trump already said. They're going to put those facial recognition cameras. They're going to put the red light cameras. We're going to be controlled just like animals in the zoo. Because like I say, if you think about, no, we're not the only ones. If you deplete a city like you depleted this city, like I said, I know the city because I lived here all my life. I'm 76. This city was not like that. And some cities are doing better because they're working with the police, like New Jersey or something. So I'm going to read some more about other cities. But some cities are doing better because they are working with the police. But this, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, is a racist place. I see that right now because we got such a division between us and them. And they love to see this highlight about black folks shooting. They love that because Fox 6 use it all the time, Hannity and all of them. But anyway, like I said, then the silencer. They're going to put that silencer back out. Thoughts and prayers. That's what I hear. Time the schools get shot up. Time the malls get shot up. Thoughts and prayers. So these are old folks that know better. It's time to get the ship right. They got money to go up to the moon, to build a city. What's his name? Wants to build a city up in Mars. They know what to do to correct the conditions of people.
Thank you, Miss Sandra. I got two other calls. I know I appreciate you. What she was referring to about the police relationship with the community in Camden, New Jersey. They did this. It wasn't defunding police, but they reimagined policing and they built better relationships that has got better results with the community relationship with the police department, which is something I think we should continue to look into because we definitely need to have a better relationship between the police and the community. The Town, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, but I got about 90 seconds here for you.
Hey, I just want to say that it's just, man, just the tone in the center when a black person does it. Is it tragic? Yes. Pray for them people. Pray for them police. Pray for them police. But why wouldn't make a 20-year-old kid shoot the police? What is it? The answer simply cannot be just lock them up and throw away the key. Obviously, it's the parenting. We got to get on this parenting and this education. They done took so much from that now these kids they don't even know which is right or left, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you. I hear you, The Town, and I agree. I think the locking kids up is a problem, but we got to find something because why would a 22-year-old shoot at the police? I don't know. You can feel however you feel about the police, but shooting at the police when you a suspect it's ballsy. It's definitely ballsy. 833-212-1017. Last call we have here is Kevin from Milwaukee. Thank you so much for holding. What are your thoughts on the conversation about the police shooting and guns here in the city of Milwaukee?
All right, Kyle. How you doing there? I saw you yesterday at your. Okay. I saw you yesterday at your cousin's. Cousin's repast.
Thank you for supporting my cousin Meech. I appreciate that. It was great seeing you yesterday.
Yeah, and I asked you. I said, "What are you going to talk about?" You remember that tomorrow? I said,
sure did.
What was in the line?
What did I tell you?
Okay. Well, I just want to get a few things out. I ain't gonna even go into all that. The guy, I got a call this morning from my auntie. It was my cousin that got shot. My cousin, his parents are black. Okay, so
is it the police officer?
He usually works. The officer that's in critical condition.
The officer is
in the worst condition.
Thank you for telling me that.
Yes. Well, unless my auntie lied to me. She called me this morning on the way to work and told me it was my cousin. He wasn't supposed to be working over there in that area. He's usually on the south side.
Bayview area.
So he picked up a shift over there, and that's how he ended up being in that area. So I just wanted to clear that up because I kept hearing it on the radio.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Kevin, for calling in and clearing that up. According to Kevin, shout out to Truth Nation, he said that unfortunately his cousin was the officer, the 32-year-old officer that is in critical condition right now from the shooting that occurred yesterday where 2 officers were shot at in Milwaukee. Shame on us, Milwaukee. Shame on us. 833-212-1017. Again, that is the Truth Talk and text line. Before we head to break here, I just want to say thank y'all so much for chiming in on today's conversation. Also want to let you know, tune into the award-winning 101.7 The Truth Black Business Give Back Spotlight today at 3:57 p.m. between the Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be joined by Linnell Norton, owner of Circle of Friends, an adult day program, and we will discuss the safe, secure, and fun setting they provide to adults with special needs. Again, that is the Black Business Give Back Spotlight with Circle of Friends adult day program today at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. We will wrap up the show on the other side. You can always watch us on YouTube, 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Give us a like and give us a subscribe. And trust me, I'm going to let y'all know my final thoughts on the other side. You won't want to miss it. Keep it locked. It's Truth to Power.
More of Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace is next, live from Summerfest, the world's largest music festival on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Truth Nation, are you looking for a fun opportunity to showcase your clothing line, restaurant, nonprofit organization, food truck, or small business? Well, look no further than doing it at our Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 23rd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Riverside University High School. We are currently accepting vendor applications for our festival, and you don't want to miss out on this great opportunity to promote your business and be part of all the fun. To be a vendor at Truth Family Fest, visit truthfamilyfest.com and sign up today.
Truth Nation, you already know I gotta put you on the latest hookups at Nick Avani's. Summer is here, and Nick Avani's is bringing all the heat all month long with 50% off select items during June. Whether you're leveling up your wardrobe or just want to turn heads wherever you go, they've got you covered with top-tier fashion. Suits, shirts, ties, shoes, and more. It's all about that fresh look and confident vibe, and Nick Avani's is making sure you step out feeling like $1,000,000. Pull up to Nick Avani's on the second floor of Mayfair Mall or visit them online at nickavanis.com.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
State Fair is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace, live from Summerfest, the world's largest music festival, on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
One, two, three, ho!
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I just want to finish out the show today. Milwaukee, overall, we got to be better. We have to be better. We have to understand that when we see the men and women in the law enforcement uniform, we can't just look at them as police. We have to understand that they are human beings first. They are members of our community first. They are people's brothers. They are people's sisters. They are people's sons. They are people's daughters. As you saw from the Truth Nation caller, Kevin, who called in, that is his cousin. His family is going through pain because of the senseless violence we have in our community, because of the reckless actions that people take in our community. And some of y'all want to try to protect guns, and some of y'all want to protect this nonsense. We got to let that go, because the well-being and safety of the community is the thing that matters most to everybody. It matters most to everybody. This has to stop. It has to stop. We all know somebody who is in law enforcement, or we know somebody that knows somebody in law enforcement. It's more than that 6 degrees of separation. It's somebody's family, y'all. So this must stop, and we got to speak out against this. And if you know somebody that know the family of Tremaine Jones who did this, I hope his family is coming down hard on him. I hope his family tells him, listen, we love you, but your actions have consequences. And the consequence will be that you have to be behind bars. That brother yesterday, who was a police officer, almost lost his life and is fighting for his life right now. So let's be better, Milwaukee. Let's be better. But I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in today to Truth to Power. Make sure y'all keep it locked into the Tory Lowe Show coming up from 1 to 4. Make sure you tune into The Truth next week, as we'll be giving away wristbands to go see Ira Star and also T Grizzly, my boy T Grizzly, right here on Truth to Power. But thank y'all so much for always tuning in. Y'all have a beautiful and safe weekend. Make sure y'all come on down to Summerfest and enjoy the beautiful weather. But peace out. I will see y'all next week. The Tory Lowe Show is up next. Truth to Power. Peace out. I love y'all.
July 11th, 2025, the Walk It Out Fashion and Hair Show returns for their final